Hi, Serena.
Hi Divya.
I can't believe we are doing this today,
I know, right?
but it feels so special that, after knowing each other for so many years, literally starting as homemakers
Yeah.
to, getting on our respective journeys and sitting here today with you, it just feels so special.
Same, and
And where have you reached means, oh my God, the
I know.
lifestyle and food blogger everybody knows today.
Thank you.
So just, I'm just looking forward for this beautiful interaction together today.
Same, and talking about you, thank you for the lovely introduction. But oh my god, you've turned out to be a volcano, and I saw your TEDx like talking for 18 minutes non-stop without it, like gave me goosebumps when I was looking at you, and that quote, oh my god, I just engraved in my system of how wonderful it was. And now that we are already talking about this, let's dive further in it, and let's talk about how this journey started as a TEDx speaker.
So, Serena, TEDx is something that I was really looking forward to do for last 2 years. And I never thought I would be a TEDx speaker because the journey I was into a few years back seemed so different. I never thought, as you mentioned, talking for 18 minutes, I never thought I have so much to tell the world about me or my life that I can stand on a platform and go live. So definitely it was an overwhelming experience and truly a nerve-wracking one because to share with you, I had 5 to 6 sleepless nights because maybe after school I was memorizing something that long for 18 minutes and it just felt like I'm back in school again and it was difficult because I just felt that how will I do it? But again, the moment I stood on that stage, I just felt that there was some power that took over, and the whole experience was just flawless. Inside me, I know how nervous I was, but the audience involvement, my happiness to share my journey with them, to hear that that clapping in that auditorium,
Yes.
and then obviously the cherry on the cake was that it was a long wait to see it go live on YouTube because a lot of times you do the recording but it doesn't go live. So I had my fingers crossed that I hope it does, but when it was launched, it just felt like it was worth every minute of nervousness.
I'm sure were you into debate and all that in school, and
Always,
that's got,
always.
yeah, it feels like I was like, oh my god, amazed at the way you spoke, and it was lovely, of
So
course.
you tell me, this was my most beautiful moment so far. What is your most cherished moment that you would really just pick up in a fraction of a second?
Yes, I think 1 year as a food blogger and having to meet Mr. Massimo Bottura, and I saw, like, I was so amazed by the fact that they are so passionate about their art, their work. And then this guy opens the restaurant for 3 months, and 3 months he's gone ingredient hunting. He's like so passionate. The food is colorful. The way he mentions about the food is this thing. It just gave me a perspective in life that if you want to do something, be that passionate. Otherwise, don't start at all. It was an eye-opening moment for me, and oh my god, like literally, I think this is one thing that I'd always cherish. So this is talking about life-changing moment. What was it for you?
So I think for me, it's hard to say, but sometimes the worst things in your life can teach you the biggest lessons. And as you know, mine was losing dad. And I never thought that, as a daughter, I would lose him in such challenging circumstances. And unable to be with your own father, say your last goodbyes was very difficult for me. And I think it just changed me. I think death changes you completely. Or maybe seeing it so closely, you are never the same person again. So am I. And that moment left with a lot of lessons and learnings. And just in that fraction of anger, which I was, that how could God be so unfair to us, and especially to a person like my father, who was a extraordinary soul. In that fit of anger, I decided to just take a completely new path, which was turning an author at the age of 40. And since then, there's been no looking back, because the book that I launched on his first death anniversary, which was My Dad's Daughter, the title of the book was, it just changed so much around me and inside me that today it's become a complete mission for me. Through that, not only I healed myself, I'm helping others also heal. So that book was not only a goodbye gift to my father in heaven, but also a completely new life for me.
I'm sure, yeah, it's not easy, but to be in that state of mind, yet complete something. Yes, it is a process of healing, and but it is not easy to write a book. What was your moment then? How did you compile everything together?
So I think, Sarina, I was in a very different phase that time. Even if I want to recall it, sometimes it's difficult, because you'll be surprised to know I finished my first draft in 1 month.
Oh.
And here are people who are struggling for years.
Yeah.
Like I met somebody who's a very known socialite of Delhi and renowned one at that. And he said, trying to write a book for last 16 years. What did you do? But I think this is what grief does to you. It just, takes over on you like how. And the first draft was done in the first month, and then I was lost. As now I can call it, it was a writer's block for me, because I didn't know where to go. Then I attended a couple of workshops, understood how to clean my draft, how to make the book reach a publisher, get it edited and finalize the cover, the colors, the theme. It was just a journey of 11 months. And just the happiness of launching that book on Dad's first death anniversary was, that particular
Achievement,
moment.
yeah.
Means from a moment of being so lost, it just transformed into a moment of such a big an achievement.
Yeah.
And just feeling of pride, that I could do this for Dad was special.
Yes. Now that your book is out and it's one of the best sellers, how do you feel?
Feels great.
I
Means,
know.
every day feels like a blessing.
Tell me
Because-
more about it, the best selling part. I wanted to
So
again
that was
hear it.
another thing on my wish list, because it is difficult to see it on that list, but it just happened 2 weeks back that a lot of love and support came, because Sarina, it's not about my book is 2 years old, 3 years old, 30 years old. It talks about an emotion that none of us can ever escape. It talks about grief. It talks about love and loss. So there is nobody who can say that, Divya, your book is not my cup of tea and I will never relate to it. Because there will be a time in your life when you will unfortunately lose a loved one, and you will be
Yes.
left alone to tackle with that pain.
Hard again.
So I think
And the idea is just left alone.
left alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just recently heard somebody who said that, we get so selfish that we just feel that what will happen to me now? Mera kya? Ab kal ke baad, what will I do without that person? Because that's how our life is. We are so dependent on people and relationships and bonds that we somehow can't cut away and see beyond it. So I think maybe this book has taught me this lesson, and to many more who are joining with me on this journey, that there is life beyond it. That reminds me and brings me to my question to you, that the Serena that I knew was very different. Means I remember maybe 10 years back when we did a holiday together, life was so different.
Yes.
So what changed you completely? Means you're not the person that I met long back.
Yeah. So I see, without any passion, like again quoting Massimo Bottura, you can't move ahead in life. And food was always my passion. Like during the COVID, I did crazy things with food. I already made an Indian accent at home, and literally people were like, "What are you doing? What are you feeding?" I was nailing it right, left,
Wow.
and center, and it has been my passion forever. Like all my friends know that I cook very well. And now I wanted to tap into something very rare, and that was fine dine. So I heard many reviews of many street style foods and everything, but I don't know whether the people could relate to me with fine dine, because it is a very untouched topic.
Right.
I don't know anyone who's reviewing fine dine. Maybe Veer Sangvi, he goes to places, he reviews things. But for me, it was new, and and because of this passion, I felt that it is important that we tell you that how to behave in a restaurant, how not to behave in a restaurant, or how to not fear. You always have those awkward moments when you're in a 5-star setting. That's why people want a free kind of a thing. The response you give to a chef, when the chef comes and talks to you about certain things, don't feel awkward. And certain etiquettes, fine dine etiquettes, fine dine talks, fine dine reviews, that we all go for that special moment, and we are so overwhelmed with the situation that we don't question it at all.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to bring that forward, and let's see. It's going well, touch wood, but yeah.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah. So I'm very happy with that. What's next now?
So I think last 3 years have taught me a lot, and every time something new happens and everybody's turning and telling me, "Oh my God, we never thought you'll end up doing this. So what's next?" So I really
Just to cut you short,
Huh.
I just feel that I'm already imagining you to be a politician suddenly. Like you have that command, yeah.
I want to be one.
Yeah, we need a friend
So
who's a politician.
as a kid, every time somebody heard me or anything they had interaction with me, they only asked me two things: Are you a lawyer or a politician?
Yes.
As a none.
Yeah. I love the entire, and I know you as a person who just sat quietly in a place without anything, and suddenly I am amazed. If this is what women in her 40s look like, I would want everyone to turn 40 and be this. Oh my God. But yeah, just please continue with what you're saying. Yeah. What
Yes.
next now?
So yeah, means I just want life to keep surprising me like this only. And I know somebody up there is really sitting and sending me all his love and blessings every single day, because it just wouldn't have been possible. Like I'll tell you a very small incident, that every 12th May, it's that unfortunate date when I lost dad, and somehow every 12th May since then has been special, which feels like a wrong word to use. But on dad's first death anniversary, I launched the book. On his second death anniversary was my book's first anniversary. So I had a major healing session for so many people came together. And Manya's board result came on that particular day.
Wow.
Means the result was awaited much before. But as if God just chose that day to make it special and memorable. So when this 12th was around the corner, which is just gone last
Mother's
week,
Day, yeah.
I really struggled hard that, what do I do to make this day special? And I got in touch with a few people. There were a couple of ideas. Nothing was working out. And I had recorded my TEDx in April, first week of April. And they told me that minimum 3 months is the waiting time for international TEDx to approve it and for it to go live. But as dad would have planned it, just 2 days before his death anniversary, the video got viral, it got live. And I was like, oh my God, Dad, this is how you wanted me to, celebrate 12th once again, because that's the day I shared the video with everybody.
Wow.
So just like that, I feel life would keep sending surprises. And recently I got covered by the Humans of Bombay platform, which was again a very, very big thing for me, because, I feel I'm nobody when it comes to be on a platform like this where millions are, hearing about your journey. And, just so happened there was a testimonial which came where, a girl said that, I saved her from committing suicide. Because just like me, she had lost her father to COVID and she had decided to end her life. Wow. And one of her friend told her about my book, and she decided to just give it a shot. And she tells me, and all this is happening as a chat on my DM on Instagram, where she tells me that, Didi, like this is how she refers to me, that because of you, I decided not to end my life and celebrate my father the way you are doing for your father every day. And this story was picked up by Humans of Bombay. So it just feels like, there is no end. And there will be, with something like a podcast.
Sure.
And now you've predicted on this
politician.
video that I might turn into a politician soon.
I am awaiting for that.
So I think this is all what future holds for me.
So Divya, who is the real Divya?
So I think the real Divya will forever be her dad's daughter.
No.
I think that's something that I would never want to change. And I used to love it that way. Means, he was not always the one pampering and making me feel like the princess of the world. Nothing like this. Our relationship was very formal, I must say. But then there was just this blanket of protection that I shall continue to miss. And the real Divya is somebody who's very kiddish, very childish, and I have a great sense of humor, which not many know. So I think that's what, very fun person, and I'm happy with having positive people around me. That's what my comfort zone is.
Sure.
So I think that would be the real Divya, which I want should continue forever. Because, in this materialistic world, so many things eventually change. But if inside you, you're still that little child and you're that fun and vibrant person, then it just makes, the hardships of journey bearable and easy.
Like I was seeing some podcast where one person said that empty your bowl every time it's full. Deliberately empty it.
True.
So that new things come to you every time.
Absolutely.
And it just struck me in such a manner that, okay, you know what? Literally, but if you keep everything full, what will fill
What
in?
will? Yeah, true.
So yes, of course.
Be open to change.
Yes.
Be a receiver.
Yeah, be a receiver.
And also means with financial independence, for me what's important is self-love.
Yes.
Because it's high time we learn to prioritize ourselves. And if we love ourselves, if we are a happier and a positive person within, that's what we will radiate.
Radiate.
And a happy person will always make everything around them happy.
Agree.
So to practice self-love is very important. Hold on to a faith.
To some
a
very
religion.
difficult also.
Huh?
To some very difficult
Very
also.
difficult.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
It's high time we stop judging ourselves, criticizing ourselves,
Yes.
looking for us through others' eyes.
Yes.
If
that's so important.
we are
Oh my
happy,
God,
then
yeah.
everything else will fall into place.
Yes, agree. Agree.
And I think, the best thing to end this beautiful conversation would be like, the question is not about who's going to let me do this. The question is who will stop me. That is
I
what,
love
to
it.
many
Goosebumps I'm
more
getting, yeah.
unstoppable moments
Yes,
together. And
of course.
I hope you and I both
I
rock life
loved
together.
it today. I don't know, we just flowed like river.
I know.
Like together. It was amazing. Love it.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.